Hey everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Devil May Cry 4. This is Accounting Nightmare, and today we're doing Mission 19.
Devil May Cry.
Do what you gotta do, kid! Because I'm about to send this guy on a one-way trip to hell!
Don't worry. I'm gonna get this done. Good luck, kid.
Oh, while Dante's doing all that, Nero has walked about 3 steps. It's good progress. The successor. Well, he would have been the successor if Capcom hadn't suddenly rebooted the series out of nowhere. But we haven't bought everything for Nero yet. So now that we've got a huge stock of proud souls, we can finally complete his moveset. Got everything for Red Queen and Blue Rose. And we've got the 2 levels of Snatch. Maximum Bet, we need that. We have used all these abilities at some point, it's just we haven't been able to own them all at the same time. All 3 ranks of Table Hopper, and there we go. That's Nero complete. And because we finished these off as Dante, Nero has them as well. Let's go. Woohoo! Inside of the Saviour. Yeah, come on. There we go. It's rather weird going back to Nero now after playing Dante for so long. Kind of have to relearn the Exceed timing. Bit of a dead end here. Yeah, we're inside the Saviour, and unlike previous Devil May Cry games, we don't get a horrible gore fest, because that would be vomit-inducing in these graphics. The dice game makes its return. Did you miss it? Yes, you have to play a lot of the dice game in this level. A lot of people hated this level because they didn't know the trick with the dice game. And yeah, if you don't know the trick, then this level is going to be torture. But just buster the dice when you want to land on that number, and there you go. So we want to go to the purple one, which is the end of this tiny little section of the board game. So we want a 4. That's it takes us into like a little portal sort of thing. So you just either snatch it or buster it with your arm. As long as you use your arm. When the 4 is on top, you get a 4. And it takes us into our first fight of the mission. Which is, I actually think it's the hardest fight of the mission. Because Angelos can be pretty scary. If they don't do their sphere move, if they get together and do the sphere, then you can just reflect it back with your gunshot and it'll kill most of them instantly. If they don't do that though, you've got a real fight on your hands. Usually that gold armor is really messing me up here. It's being rather docile this time though. Because they do actually like to attack from off-screen. They like to begin formations, and if they start their formation while they're off-screen, they'll still come for you. So you got to be a bit careful there. I like to try and kill all these silver armors before I move to the gold. Now the gold one's all on its own. We can nail it with charge shots. I've missed charge shot level 3, it's so good. And we can try and break its shield with our lovely buster. Oh yeah, that's fun. Get out of here. there you go. So this fight takes place on Kratos' little platform from Mission 8. Can't go that way, invisible wall. And this way is blocked off by a door. Or a, oh, that's actually kind of like a drawbridge. Very small one, but yeah. On to the next segment of the dice game. So at each floor they give you a little bit of trigger and health. Sometimes they're both health, sometimes they're both trigger. It's useful though. And once you know the trick with the dice game, you can really make this work to your advantage. We want to, if you land on the yellow, that'll take you to the purple as well. So there's a few ways we can finish this. But if you want, you can land on a blue space, which will make it rain orbs. And there's always some green orbs in here, so you can run around and collect the green orbs if you need to top up of health. So basically, you can go into each of the fights with full health. And if you want to fight some normal enemies, you can land on red spots and do that to get some more trigger. But we don't need any, so we're just going to go straight on to the next fight. We can land on the yellow for that, so we're going to go for a 4. Also, strangely enough, this is the first Devil May Cry that did not have a blob boss. That sounds weird, I know, but 1, 2 and 3 all had some kind of blob-shaped boss. And it's Berial! What the heck is Berial doing here? Well, we'll get to fight him with our full arsenal now. When we fought him back in Mission 2 as Nero, we had almost nothing, if you remember. We didn't even have Devil Trigger. So we can actually see what the Devil Triggered Busters look like now. Plus we have Charge Shot level 3 and sweet Devil Trigger moves. And yeah, it's going to be pretty great. It's still not exactly an easy fight. But oh, he got decloaked pretty quick. So there's the 2 Devil Triggered Busters for Berial. Again, make sure you go for the head first, otherwise you might not be able to get both busters in. Whoa, that was pretty lucky that that didn't hit me actually. But yeah, it's definitely easier fighting this guy with all these moves available to us, especially things like double jump, and especially Devil Trigger for the dodging ability it has, like the invincibility. You can use that if you're too close for the explosion and you can't get out in time, just Devil Trigger and you'll be immune to the explosion. Well, that was pretty fun. Let's move on. On to the next floor, and yeah, they give us some health. That's pretty nice of them. Also, there's a pun with Nero's X-Act move. That's the move that lets you get the full 3 bars of charge with a perfect rev. It's called X-Act. Exact? Exact? Exact timing? Yeah, it took me years to catch on to that pun. I'm embarrassed. And it's Dagon. Not Bael, because it's got the red Rasulkas, not the blue ones. There's a difference. Not really, actually. But yes, it's a boss rush. Jeez, lost the ice already. Yep, Devil Trigger makes a difference. Poor Dagon. It's not always easy to break his ice this quickly. It does depend a lot on what patterns he does and how often he jumps away from you. Sometimes he'll go straight into this phase at the drop of a hat. But now it's Rasulka time and we can blow him up with charge shots and do busters. This phase is pretty easy as Nero, I think, because you can just keep your distance and do a lot of damage. And there's not a lot they can do to you as long as you're keeping an eye on both of them. And out comes Dagon again. And we did enough damage to skip over one of the Rasulka phases. So that's pretty handy. We'll get a Devil Triggered Buster on this thing if we can break his ice again. Whoop, almost got eaten there. But Devil Trigger and Vulnerability helped us. Buster time. That's a fun buster. I like how the Devil Triggered busters are really similar to the normal ones, but they're a bit more insane. And the other buster, the one where we go inside his mouth, we didn't get to see that one Devil Triggered. So for completion's sake, let's have a look at that. Very fun. Poor Dagon. Onwards! So yeah, this is the boss rush mission. And yeah, that combined with the board game mechanics means a lot of people loathe this mission. I actually really like it. This is the mission I would usually play when I just felt like playing the game. Because I could just fight a bunch of bosses. If I felt like fighting normal enemies, I would do that too. You get the choice of when to move on to the boss, and I think that's really fun. Like I know it's lazy design. I completely understand that, but I find it to be a lot of fun. It's also not as long and repetitive as the Bloody Palace, so it's pretty fun for just quick game sessions. And yeah, using Devil Trigger and Vulnerability there to get in a nice maximum bet. I like using the Devil Trigger moves against Echidna. She's well suited for them actually. For some reason when you do that maximum bet at the start there, the vines won't hit you. I've tried it a whole bunch of times and the vines never hit me as long as I got up right close to her. And yes, she came in the ground again. Sometimes she goes up in the air and does like the pod position. But if she goes in the ground, you can stun her. And then we can do this, a showdown. Well, we just got that buster in before our Devil Trigger ran out. And now she's gonna do her enrage thing. She's really not much of a threat before she enrages. When she enrages though, she starts hitting like a truck and just moving so fast. But we did so much damage to her, she's nearly dead already, so we don't have to put up with much enrage here. Oof. Oh jeez. She's so unpredictable when she's zooming around. I can definitely see why people cheese this by sitting on the edge of the arena. Ooh, got myself in trouble there. Yep, Nero's Devil Trigger invulnerability is so useful. And pop she goes. Yeah, all these enemies just have a normal death animation that you get to see here in the boss rush. That's pretty handy. Otherwise you can see them in the Bloody Palace too when you fight them there. And these seeds around Echidna's room, get these. These do count towards the triple S for the mission. So there's 3 collections around the room. You want to collect all 3 of them. I'm trying to shoot this one, but I'm not lining it up very well. There we go. And we're on the final section of this dice game. And this one looks like a big love heart, sort of. It's like a stretched love heart. It's our final boss of the boss rush. So we can just land on the yellow one over here. And a 5. Though unfortunately, my favourite boss, one of my favourites, Credo, is not here in the boss rush. We do get to fight Agnus though. That's always good. I like the Agnus fight as well. Ooh, that was really close. That was right about to hit me. More swords. I like the Devil Trigger to cut the swords down because they drop trigger. So you're using trigger to ensure you kill them, and then you get trigger back. Oop, I'm not going to kill those in time, so now we can throw them though. Well, that missed. Let's try that again. There we go. And the other sword died at some point, so Yeah, he really likes to spam these today, doesn't he? Sometimes when you just keep destroying him over and over, he will spam it. Ah, busters. They're so fun. Usually after the first buster, he goes in the centre of the room and does the big time to die move. He didn't do that this time though, strangely enough. He did summon some of these annoying dogs to deal with. Oh jeez. That's... We're in a bad way there, but once again, the devil trigger invulnerability. It's really nice going back to that after not having that as Dante. But if you're not familiar with it, when you activate Devil Trigger and Nero thrusts his hand in the air, you're invulnerable during that short period. And Agnus just tried to melee me from across the room. Okay. I don't think that's going to work, but yeah. Well, I was going to try and go for the stun there, but he's doing the blade move. I do find that blade move pretty tricky to dodge, actually. It hurts a lot too if he hits you. He claims that he's an angel. I don't think I believe him. Then there's more breakables in this room too, so don't miss them. There's some cages. There's usually a couple over here, but I think one of them got destroyed in the fight. And there's usually some over here as well, but I guess they got destroyed at some point too. And I'm surprised that the teleporter doesn't appear here in the centre of the room. It appears over at the side. Not really sure why. Also, another cool detail is you can see the cage on the roof. The one that Kiryu was being kept in Mission 9? Yeah, Mission 9. If you get the camera angle right, it's not easy. I did it here, so... Yeah, you can see it's empty now. So that's a detail, I suppose. And here's the end of the mission. Make sure you break these pillars for delicious red orbs. Not that we actually need them for buying things. We just want the S rank. We kick this thing, and in we go.
Talk about shaking things up in here.
Hey, kid! You should see what I'm going through!
Guess we're in the same boat then.
Somehow they can hear each other. Don't question it. So, that was the second to last mission. For being the boss rush mission, I thought it was going to be one of the longest missions. But this video is actually going to be one of the shorter ones. Might even be under the 20-minute mark. And there's DMC history. That would be for collecting all of Nero's skills at the same time. So we've got a maxed out Dante and a maxed out Nero. All that's left to do now, really, is to finish the game in Mission 20. And then after Mission 20, I'll post the remainder of the Legendary Dark Knight missions. Those are going to take a lot of editing. So I'll do those last, I think. But yeah, that's the mission. I really enjoyed it. When I just want to fire up the game and just play it for like half an hour, this is the mission I always return to. Just to have a fun little boss rush. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time for the final mission. See ya!